So, Rick, talk about mid-tour when you found out something quite life-changing. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
which we saw happen to you, and it was absolutely remarkable in many ways, and how you coped with that.
okay, yeah. Basically, as those who know me or have grown up with me, I was adopted at a very young age. To the people in the band, it's just always been that way. So, again, growing up, Liam and Sam would always, knock round, and Mum and Dad, Mr. and Mrs. H, would always greet them with smiles. But anyway, knowing that I was adopted was just, yeah, something I grew up with. And I remember being down in London. I think I had a letter delivered to the farm because, as it turned out, my mum knew that address. And we went down to Borough High Street. We were sat in Belushi's, and I think I opened the letter in front of the three others. And ultimately, that letter was from about eight or nine aunties and uncles who I had found out, and my maternal grandma was dying. I was the oldest of her grandchildren, and it was a dying wish to be reunited with me. So within, I think it was 2 days, I was from central London. I was up in Manchester, which is where my family and my people originate. I also found out I was Guyanese from Guyana in South America, where, again, at the time, there was always a presumption in Britain in those times that every sort of black person who'd come over was Jamaican. Never felt Jamaican, and to Jamaican people, I don't look Jamaican. My build, my tone just isn't Jamaican. So a lot of things started to make sense. So I met my grandma, and I met, aunties, uncles, siblings of just a huge sort of Guyanese Caribbean family. So it was pretty, yeah, mind blowing and different to what I'd even expected. Again, it wasn't as if it was a replacement to my family. It was just my life was enriched with more people who have a influence and a care in how I do, or in how I'm doing and how I feel. So due to that, again, I thought being in a band, I was in a really cool place. So I did two things because of that. Firstly, within Burton-on-Trent, where we were sort of residing, I decided to give back, and ended up doing charity work with the British Caribbean Association, doing music therapy, basically getting young kids who are in trouble, maybe not have the conversational skills to get out of situations. I used to go and record with them, give them a tape. There might be an MC, there might be a guitarist, but I'd give them a little CD of the recording they did, in the hope that it would then sort of, get them off that sort of path, and acting as a mentor of someone, potentially not from the best background on paper, and in that position at the time as a musician. It was trying to influence young black youth, and yeah, and alongside that, we also worked with Plan UK. I remember meeting a lady called Emmy. She was actually, I think she was Jamaican, and the interesting thing was she'd actually gone through a pretty much same story as me. She was also adopted, and she'd also discovered her, maternal family. However, our two results were very, very different, and I remember at the time striking an affiliation and a few sort of chats whilst this work was going on, just about the pitfalls in both sides. And as both young black people at the time, it was quite an open situation where it actually helped learn. And I don't know if you guys sort of knew that side of it, but when we were actually sort of chatting, there was a lot of to and fro with regards to this is what it's like being an adopted kid. No one else kind of knows. So me and Emmy both were, and I think that to me solidified wanting to work with Plan and again doing that. And I think Sam's mentioned in another video, we then sponsored Orlin, a young boy from Honduras, I think it was, and also then did I can't remember the name of the Just a Girl campaign.
Well, it is Just a Girl
Yeah,
campaign.
the Just a Girl
Yeah.
campaign, yeah. Which was, we gave all the proceeds to Plan UK of the sales to that, which I think, you know, in hindsight was, a wonderful thing to do, and of which, I'm still very proud. And I know that, again, the farm is still working with Plan UK and sponsoring all into this day. So I think, all these years on out of such a life-changing thing, it's had a very positive effect on people.